She walked into the corner store on a humid Atlanta afternoon, her toddler balanced on one hip, the other hand pushing a stroller loaded with diapers and a half-empty bottle of juice. He stood behind the counter, arms folded, eyes narrowing the moment the bell above the door jingled. They had never spoken before, but the air between them crackled the second her shadow crossed the threshold. "Ma'am, you need to leave the kid outside." He barked before she had taken 3 steps. She kept walking, scanning the aisle for baby formula. "It's 98 degrees, my son stays with me." He stepped from behind the register, voice rising. "I said outside. I don't need crying babies knocking stuff over." She turned, meeting his stare. "Touch my child and we'll have a problem." He laughed, short and ugly. "Lady, I own this store. I touch what I want." That was the hook. 30 seconds of footage that would loop on every local news station for the next 48 hours, the moment the city of Atlanta held its breath. If you're watching this from Chicago, London, Johannesburg, or anywhere else, drop your city in the comments right now and keep reading, because what happened next tore a neighborhood in half. She was Tamika Reynolds, 29, single mother, night shift nurse at Grady Memorial. He was Richard Ricky Moreland, 47, third generation owner of Moreland's Market on Cascade Road. They say the store had fed Southwest Atlanta since 1972. They also say Ricky had run off more black customers in the last 5 years than his father ever did in 50. Tamika needed the infamil that day because WAC had shorted her coupon again. She told herself she would be in and out. She told herself not to engage. She almost made it. Ricky watched her on the convex mirror above the cooler. He saw her slip the can into the stroller's basket, saw her pull a crumpled 20 from her scrubs pocket, saw her head toward the counter. What he claimed he saw, what he swore on his mother's grave he saw, was her palm sliding a second can up her sleeve. "Stop right there," he shouted. Tamika froze. "I'm paying for everything." He rounded the counter, finger jabbing the air. "You think I'm stupid. I saw you." She lifted the single can from the basket, placed it on the counter. "1 can, $20, ring it up." He snatched the can, turned it over like evidence. "Where's the other one? There is no other one." He grabbed her wrist. "Show me your sleeve." She yanked away. "Get your hands off me." He grabbed harder. "Thieves don't get to walk out my store." The toddler started crying. The stroller rolled backward into a rack of chips. Tamika twisted free, reached for her son. Ricky blocked her path, chest puffed, veins bulging at his temples. "Call the police." He yelled to his nephew in the stockroom. Tamika's voice shook, but did not break. "Go ahead. Call them. I want this on record." He laughed again. "Record? I got cameras, sweetheart. They don't lie." They did lie, or at least they told a different story than the one Ricky planned to sell. The nephew dialed 9-1-1. Ricky, adrenaline pumping, made the mistake that ended him. He shoved Tamika hard between the shoulders. She stumbled, caught the stroller before it tipped, then spun around swinging. Her open hand cracked across his cheek with a sound the microphone picked up crystal clear. He swung back, closed fist, connected with her jaw. She dropped to one knee, blood on her lip. The toddler wailed, customers froze. One pulled out a phone, hit record. Ricky didn't notice. He was too busy screaming. "See, assault. I'm the victim here." APD arrived in 4 minutes. Officer Grant and Officer Alvarez, both wearing body cams. They separated the parties. They reviewed the store tape on Ricky's ancient DVR. They watched Tamika pay for the single can, watched Ricky accuse her of stealing a second, watched him put hands on her first, watched her defend herself, watched him escalate to a punch. Grant looked at Ricky. "Sir, you're under arrest for simple battery." Ricky's face went the color of raw meat. "Battery? She hit me." Alvarez cuffed him. "After you struck her, we all saw it." He started yelling about his rights, about thieves, about how nobody respected small business anymore. The officers walked him past Tamika, who now held an ice pack to her face while a paramedic checked her son. That should have been the end. Local man arrested, local mother bruised but alive, local store closed for the night. It wasn't. Word spread on the Cascade neighbors WhatsApp at 6:03 p. By 6:17, 20 people stood outside the store. By 6:45, 200. Somebody posted the body cam snippet APD redacted faces, but the audio was unmistakable. By 7:12, Channel 2 Action News had a chopper overhead. Ricky made bond at 11:00 p.m. He walked out the jail Sally Port into a dozen cameras. His lawyer, a suit named Harlan Pike, held an impromptu press conference on the courthouse steps. My client acted in lawful defense of his property, Pike declared. Georgia's stand, your ground statute protects store owners from theft and violence. Tamika's cousin live-streamed from her porch 2 miles away. Stand, your ground don't cover punching a nurse holding a baby. She told 15,000 viewers. The next morning, the store's Yelp page went from 4.1 stars to 1.2 in 6 hours. Google reviews called it racist, violent, a danger to the community. Delivery drivers refused to drop off Cisco orders. The bread vendor peeled the Moreland's decal off his truck in the parking lot. Ricky opened at 10:00 a.m. anyway. He stood behind the counter in the same blood-stained shirt, daring anyone to come in. Nobody did, except one person. She walked in at 10:47, no toddler this time, hair pulled back tight, phone in a tripod mount already recording. Tamika wore her hospital badge like body armor. Ricky's eyes widened. Your band, she kept filming. I'm a customer with cash. Ring me up or admit you're scared. He reached under the counter. Nobody knows for what. Tamika didn't flinch. Touch that register or I walk. Your choice. He slammed the drawer shut. Get out before I call the cops again. She laid a $5 bill on the counter, pack of Newport shorts, box not soft. He stared at the money like it might bite him. I don't serve thieves. She smiled without warmth. Good. Then you won't mind me posting this live to 32,000 people. The stream counter ticked upward. Comments flooded. Boycott Moreland's. Shut it down. Where's the GoFundMe for her legal fees? Ricky's nephew tried to unplug the router. Tamika switched to cellular. The nephew gave up, walked out the back door, and never came back. At 11:30, a city inspector arrived, unannounced, clipboard in hand. Fire code violations, expired permits, a walk-in cooler at 46 degrees. Ricky screamed about harassment. The inspector taped a red condemnation notice to the front door. By 2:00 p.m., the health department followed. Rodent droppings in the storage room. Ricky claimed they were old. The inspector bagged fresh ones. At 4:00, the bank called. The store's line of credit, secured against the building, had been frozen pending reputational review. Ricky's father had signed in 2009. The old man was on speakerphone from the nursing home, voice trembling. What did you do, son? Night fell. The boycott solidified. Suppliers canceled. The beer distributor yanked the coolers. The lottery terminal went dark. State office revoked the license after a flood of complaints. Ricky locked the gates, sat inside with a shotgun across his lap, and posted a 14-minute Facebook rant. He called Tamika every name he could think of. He called the mayor. He called the cameras fake news. He called his customers ungrateful. Viewer count peaked at 87,000 before Facebook took it down for hate speech. Tamika, meanwhile, started a GoFundMe titled Formula, Not Fists. Goal, $5,000 for daycare while she healed. It hit $50,000 in 4 hours. By sunrise, $250,000. Celebrities retweeted. The Atlanta Hawks donated courtside seats for her son's first birthday. Tyler Perry sent a handwritten note and a check with a lot of zeros. Day 3, the twist nobody saw coming. A lawyer from the Southern Justice Coalition showed up at Tamika's door with a thumb drive. We pulled the full, unedited store footage through a public records request. He said, "There's 30 minutes before the altercation you never saw." The tape showed Ricky in the stockroom at 2:15 p.m., 2 hours before Tamika arrived. He opened a case of Infamil, removed 6 cans, replaced them with off-brand powder he bought in bulk from a discount wholesaler. He pocketed the difference, $11, $49 per can, $1.68, 94 total. He did it every Tuesday when the delivery truck came. The nephew helped count the cash. Tamika watched the footage stone-faced. The lawyer laid out the plan: civil suit for assault, battery, false imprisonment, defamation, plus a RICO claim tying the swap scheme to years of tax fraud. Estimated damages, north of $2 million. Ricky got served at the store at 9:00 a.m. on a Friday. The process server wore a body cam too. Ricky tried to slam the gate. The server slipped the papers through the bars. Ricky tore them up on camera. The server handed him a second set. "Have a nice day, sir." The bank foreclosed Monday. The city revoked the business license Tuesday. The DA added theft by deception to the criminal charges Wednesday. Bond revocation hearing set for Thursday. Ricky's father died that night, heart attack in the nursing home. The obituary listed Moreland's Market as permanently closed. Tamika never pressed the GoFundMe money. She returned every donation over $10,000 with a thank you note. The rest paid medical bills, daycare, and a down payment on a duplex in Vine City. She enrolled in nursing grad school. Her son learned to say mama and hawk in the same week. The store sat empty for 6 months. Graffiti covered the windows. Justice served. Then the city auctioned the building. A co-op of black women entrepreneurs bought it for pennies on the dollar. They gutted the place, installed new coolers, painted the walls sunflower yellow. Grand opening, Saturday, Juneteenth weekend. Name on the marquee, Tamika's Community Market. Ricky's last public appearance was a mugshot, unkempt beard, hollow eyes. He took a plea, 2 years probation, $300,000 restitution, permanent ban from owning a retail business in Fulton County. He moved to North Carolina, changed his name, pumps gas at a Shell off I-95. Customers still recognize him sometimes. They don't say anything. They just film from their phones and walk away. Tamika cuts the ribbon at the new store wearing the same scrubs from that afternoon, badge polished bright. Her son holds the oversized scissors. The first customer in line is Officer Grant, off duty, buying diapers for his own newborn. He hands Tamika a 20 for a $3.49 can of formula. She rings him up, slides the change across the counter. "Keep it," he says. "Community fund." She nods. "Welcome to the neighborhood. If you're still here, drop your city again. Atlanta, Brooklyn, Manchester, Cape Town. And tell me, would you have walked into that store the next day? Would you have filmed? Would you have spent your money where they punched a mother in the face? The cameras caught the truth. The truth ruined him. The truth also built something new.